checking everyone's vitals. Now really isn't the time.
I know. Look, we all feel like we've been kicked into the ground a million times over, but I think I have something. I'm serious. If I may, I know our encounter with the Hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Because he was stopping us, implying that we were getting closer to it. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him?
It does seem awfully coincidental now that you put it that way. I don't have to believe anything to recognize a pattern that's worth checking out.
I know, it's about commitment to each other, the universe, but the Grav Jump pilgrimages take universals all over. Maybe they know something? I'll meet you over there.
We need to inventory all our equipment and other odds and ends for damages. Lodge, please.
Morale in the lodge has been measurably reduced.
This.
Keeper Aquilas, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh, of course. Anything for one of the faithful. Is this maybe about the Grav Jump pilgrimages, or you seen something in the darkness between the stars that troubles you?
Not exactly. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps we should talk about this inside.
War memorial. You can stop to pay respects, if you'd like.
Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
We've lost people, Keeper.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And these Starborn, I take it they're different from the people of the settled systems? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe, beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun, and he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave? I agree. I think you need to talk to them about this unity pilgrim. And clearly, not just in a theological sense, as I have. Oh yes, typically. But there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I've visited her a couple of times. Hopefully, she'll be willing to talk to you as well. And if you need directions to the Enlightened, they have a branch in the Well helping the poorest citizens of New Atlantis find a better life for themselves. Oh, and here, take this. You're a member of the Sanctum after all, and this is the beginning of a pilgrimage of sorts.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
I know your type. The freewheeling space ace. Must be nice.
A visitor? I have all the company I need. He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more incessant questions.
He sent both of us to ask more incessant questions, actually.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
You don't need to tell us. We just figured it would be better to ask you directly than to take a second-hand account of your words.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jangan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jangan. But such is Jangan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jangan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jangan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jangan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. Strength and conviction show your worthiness to the Great Serpent. The kill is not as important as showing there is no doubt. I grow tired of speaking. Leave me.
Having a good one?
Oh yeah, that's UC security. Busier than normal these days, it seems.
As a tracker agent, my duty is to inform and advise.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, we're not. Sorry. Can I help you?
The Unity Pilgrim in particular, if that rings any bells.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity Pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilus is describing. A man walks into the first House of Enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of 2 what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of 2 that. That's what you got out of that, huh? Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate.
They say they don't need a programmer on board, but their ship was...
Oh, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. What else did you learn? Yes, what he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Was there anything else? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Oh, you figured it out then? Well, good. I hope you find it. The true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Ah, but what makes something like that holy? Gravity is also a force that brings things together. Should that be sanctified? And so you think this word unity describes a similar miracle? The processes of the universe are all in accordance with some greater intent.
Now, I thought a miracle was something unexplainable and magical. But we know a hell of a lot about life and gravity. Any other miracles you want to discuss? Like fire, lightning, or minor sports victories?
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
I have something for you.
I miss my dear darling and you Atlantis, as I wander the blackness of the deep abyss. My ship is in tatters, all dented and worn, but I trust my old engine to get back by morn. Way home.
You know, this abandoned homestead is actually rather charming. I'm fine.
Hey, you might want this.
Starborn ruins. You see that, right? We have to get a close-up of that statue.
I have something for you.
It can't be. You found me. I knew I made the right choice in letting you go. I yield, Constellation. You should come aboard. There's another Starborn here who is very interested in meeting you.
I can speak for myself. Constellation ship, you weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. It's only fitting you should join us. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. Your one shot at getting those answers you must desperately want. Good. See? We can all get along. For now. emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. Yes, we did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We are all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should. Good. Hold on to that determination. Because you're about to learn there's a higher prize at stake.
The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
So, I gotta say, this part is more awkward than I thought. Hiding my face was way easier. I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who stayed at the lodge to protect the artifacts. You died on board the Eye, while we held off the Hunter.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. And that's the problem. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? Oh, say what you really mean. That if what you're seeing is true, that means anyone can act the way I do. See things how I see things. You say I can't be the same man as Aquilus? You're really just talking about yourself.
The real monster lives within us all, doesn't it?
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides. Bingo.
I want a truce. Between all three of us. I will give you some time to think over which approach to the Unity is the one you want. Mine. Or the Hunters.
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you.
I know we're not the same people we met in our universes. Still, I'm sure you have more questions. Ask. It is not an easy experience to describe. But the Unity will speak to you. Offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be Maybe that's why it offers the...
The Unity is meant for whomever can get there. Don't fall for that talk of worthiness. I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen in quite some time. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until this meeting with the emissary to decide what to do about you. To see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and sometimes hundreds and hundreds. I took it as whoever created there are no... I don't kill for the Unity.
Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also seek the moon of old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. And I am sorry we have not always been forthcoming. I hope you will see what I have seen. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
This relay station has to be at least 100 years old. Stunning. There's that little sad dot. Looks like everybody evacuated fast.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs clear.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle set a timer. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good.
It'll heal. Ow!
Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation possible in 32 minutes. Speaking of life, some of the slow side these days.
Ow!
All this appear to break the laws of physics, Canaveral.
Okay, that hurt.
Pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell you where you got the original
Ow!
data.
Not in a million years.
Hey, you might want this.
So cold. Okay, think about campfires and warm blueberry muffins and jacuzzis. Yeah. Looks like this one almost made it to launch. Wonder what the final problems were. Is that all? Looks like the lift is offline. Maybe we can restore power. Let's look around. Watch it! Crew preparation area. I can't imagine how tense and chaotic it must have been. Looks like a structural collapse of the underlying strata. Typical of Cars topography. They had a museum, but this whole place is a museum now. Anyway, looks like an exit at the end of the hall.
Judith Tatienne. Station log. Dr. Judith. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown onto That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise. Final days of humanity on Earth must have been a special... Come on!
There's that. Vasco definitely takes after this side of the family.